Here's a story that we've been keeping on top of for you for the last few months, and this week it has happened again. Another manhole dislodged in Albany, this time near the Times Union Center. National Grid says they're taking steps every day to prevent these incidents from happening, but happen they do. And this is the sixth separate incident in downtown Albany alone since September. On May 6th, there was an incident on State Street. On April 17th, one on Eagle Street. 4 covers blew on Broadway on March 23rd. Back in September, there were 2 cases within a week of each other on Chapel and Steuben Streets. Pat Bailey's been tracking the response to this latest incident, and he joins us now live from the Capitol Bureau. Pat?
Yeah, Jerry, believe it or not, one blew again today just after a press conference by Albany County Executive Dan McCoy, who is the latest to put pressure on National Grid. He's asking for an investigation into the company. His message to them is simple. Enough is enough. Fix the problem now before someone gets hurt.
I want to be proactive. I don't want to be reactive.
The cover started blowing off the streets last fall. Since then, not a month goes by where a manhole cover is not forced up. This was one explosion earlier this year. And just an hour after the county executive finished meeting with the media at the TU Center Friday, National Grid was called to another cover coming off right across the street.
I feel there's not enough being done right now because as I'm watching this continue on, I'm like, what are we doing?
McCoy says the next step is a letter to 3 state agencies asking for National Grid to be investigated. The county executive says he doesn't think that they're doing all that they can to address the problem.
So we owe it to make sure that we hold the utility companies accountable, and that's what I want.
In response, National Grid's media relations manager says National Grid is working tirelessly to address the concerns raised by Albany County Executive Dan McCoy, as well as the concerns of Albany Mayor Jerry Jennings and area residents regarding recent underground fires in the city. Safety is the #1 priority at National Grid. Every day, significant steps are taken to keep the public and our employees as safe as possible around our natural gas and electric facilities.
They owe it to the consumers and the people that pay their utility bills to make sure this is going to happen when you walk down the street, that you don't have to worry about a manhole cover popping.
Now, I'm told the root of the problem is corroded cables underground. A National Grid spokesman told me on the phone late today, that they have spent $1.6 million last year alone replacing the cables in the city of Albany. And he assures me, quote, significant resources on the matter are being spent, and it is taken very seriously, Jerry.
You mentioned the bad cables, but just how much of that is underground in Albany?
Well, miles and miles of cable from what I understand, and the National Grid spokesman told me today that, in fact, there's about 15,000 feet that need to be replaced, and he says about half of that is already done, and he says they are committed to finishing the project as quick as possible.
Well, we certainly hope that happens sooner than later. Thank you very much, Pat.